On today's episode of I'm bored and don't have a whole lot of time to record, we are going to be utilizing the Nuki's bathroom once more. In the Nuki's bathroom, yeah, there is the bucket and the backpack water tank, but we're going to be using the backpack water tank for something a little bit different. We're actually going to be utilizing the Nuki's bar for our own benefit. I might have been smoking something and just was like, how can Nukis utilize literally every aspect of their base for gain? So you need to grab the first aid kit in the room down there. Inside of here, there is a pill canister with 10 unit pills of tricordazine. So we are going to be making Doctor's Delight. Doctor's Delight is actually a really mathematically easy thing to make. So it's 1 part tomato juice, and each tomato juice packet has 50 units. So you just dump all 50 units in a backpack water tank. You need 1 part orange juice, which orange juice, if you're following along here, now has 50 units in the entire carton. So once you're done with that, we need 1 part lime juice, which even though the lime juice Sprite is, I guess it's a big bottle still. Either way, you dump that whole thing in. That is 50 units of lime juice. And now we need 2 parts cream. And each milk cream container is 50 units. So you dump all of that into the backpack water tank. Then you take your 5 pills of Trico and you just dissolve them in this liquid mixture. Unfortunately, we cannot use a spoon to mix the tank directly, so you could just bring out some extra shakers so you don't waste any beakers. I guess you could also just get a jug, but shakers are totally convenient here. Then you set the backpack water tank transfer amount to 100, transfer 100 to each shaker. Then you gotta grab your bar spoon, and you just stir all 3 of these. And you just made 300 units of Doctor's Delight. If you do not know what Doctor's Delight is, it is basically discount omnisine. However, the 2 negatives is that it will make you hungry if you consume a lot of it, and it will make you drunk if you consume a lot of it. Being drunk's not normally that big of a deal. It can mess up your comms a little bit, it makes your camera a little wobbly. If you drink way too much, it gets pretty bad, you start puking. But starving is the worst fact here, but you could just take a second to eat a brick of NutriBrick or something, or even inject Nutriment if you have that ability. Either way, it's a pretty small downside for discount Omnisine. It is literally half effective as Omnisine. Omnisine heals 2 air loss, brute, burn, and toxin per half unit. Doctor's Delight is 1 of each per half unit, and we just made 300. You could make way, way more if you make your own tricordazine, but this takes no resources from anyone. I know people are complaining that, like, hey, you're taken away from the agent by doing this stuff, and it's like, okay, obviously you should be communicating with your team. I'm not ever in my videos like, hey, go be an asshole. Like, I don't tell people to do that. I don't know why that gets interpreted that way sometimes. It's whatever. But if somebody complains that you're using shakers, I don't know. Probably taking the game a bit too seriously at that point. But anyways, I'll do a quick rundown of Doctor's Delight of its healing effectiveness. So one thing that is cool about Doctor's Delight, since it is literally discount Omnizine, it heals air loss, which means it actually heals blood loss. And since it also heals other things, it can be actually decently useful in a real combat scenario. It won't stop the bleeding necessarily, but it can at least prevent somebody from bleeding out, even though it's literally an alcoholic beverage. Admittedly, I don't know why it makes you drunk. You don't add any alcohol at all to it. I don't know if that's just a nerf it intentionally or whatever the reason is. But this person has been slashed with a knife, and I'm going to inject them with 20 units of Doctor's Delight, so we can see what it ends up doing to them. I apparently walked out of range. Immediately, you'll see that it actually does a decent job at healing the blood loss. It's actually healing blood loss and the invisible asphyxiation you can't see, so that's why it's not healing 1 HP per half unit. It's healing half a HP per unit. And since there's 3 damage types in the brute category, you're only healing a third of that health per tick per half unit. But either way, this is just a liquor, which, again, don't know why it's a liquor. It does make this person a little drunk. With 20 units, actually, I don't think it makes them drunk at all. But this will make them a little bit hungrier. But for a literally free reagent with just mixers, it did heal a decent bit of their blood loss. Yeah, it's not like, this isn't game breaking. It's not going to bring you out from the complete brink. But for a drink, that's pretty good. And these 2 people are about to get throttled, because I can do that. In this right one, we have Omnizine, 20 units of Omnizine, and then 20 units of Doctor's Delight. And all you're going to notice is that the person that has Doctor's Delight is going to get healed exactly half. The Throngler thankfully does Toxin, Burn, and Brute, so you can see the Doctor's Delight healing this person up. If you are to manage to take all three types of this damage, which isn't 100% unreasonable for nuke ops to take, Doctor's Delight actually can heal quite a lot. And the Omnizine, obviously, doing a much better job. It's twice as potent. So I just let the timer count down. So somebody who had 80 damage split among categories with Doctor's Delight healed 50 from 20 units, and the Omnizine person was completely cured. So yes, this isn't entirely broken, but that's still pretty impressive because you can't make Omnizine, well, as a nukie, you certainly can't. Or you have to spend TC. But you can make Doctor's Delight, and eating isn't that hard, and as long as you don't inject more than 20 units at a time, you'll never have to worry about the effects of being drunk. Anyways, obviously, I made this because I was bored. Have fun.